Welcome back to CNN's special coverage of President Biden's State of the Union address. Joining us now to react to President Biden's comments, former Republican governor of Arkansas and potential 2024 presidential candidate, Asa Hutchinson. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you in person. We talk all the time when you're back in Arkansas, but now you're free to travel. So here you are.
Indeed. I'm glad to be with you.
What did you think of the president's speech?
You know, I thought it was really a good moment for Congress and the people to see the president congratulating the new Speaker of the House, the new Congress that's led by Republicans. I thought that was a good moment for our democracy. I thought it was a warm exchange, actually, and a little bit friendly.
At the beginning.
Well, at the beginning, but even later, I mean, it was a banter back and forth. Now, it was a little bit odd because he was responding so much to the audience in front of him. You know, usually you just simply focus on the American audiences there. But notwithstanding that warmth that I think that it started off with particularly, it was striking to me that he gave such short time to such key issues that I had a greater expectation on. The border security, it was 60 minutes in before he mentioned the border and immigration. Whenever you look at the time on China, what a great opportunity to really emphasize the threat that China brings and how we need to address it. Energy really was discouraging to those that want to invest in energy production. And so, those are some surprises that I saw.
Well, he obviously wanted to focus a lot on the economy because that's where people are. I just have to say, I know where you're going about sort of the warmth. That's the word you used at the beginning. But then he was called a liar like more than once by Republican House members.
Yeah, but be fair, though, because that was from somebody in the back of the chamber, and you could see the speaker saying, let's do it. And so they were really showing respect. And I think, because you have one member that acts inappropriately, and maybe they ought to deal with that. But by and large, I thought the Republican side showed great respect to the president. Certainly Speaker McCarthy did.
So, Governor, you've made no secret that you're looking into considering potentially running in 2024. If Biden is who the Democrats put up, what do you think, what is he like as an opponent? What is his standing right now? Is he a strong potential opponent for a Republican?
Well, I think he'd be a strong candidate against Donald Trump because he likes to run against Donald Trump and raise that contrast, and I think the Democrats would like to see that match up. I don't think that's going to be the case. And in fact, whenever you look at the things that he articulated about the economy and reducing inflation, the American people, by and large, say it's time for a change. And so it doesn't change the dynamics, the fact that he made a campaign speech, which presidents do, and the State of the Union address, setting the stage for the future. But the contrasts are really set up very dramatically for 2024. Big government solutions that he presents, more taxes that he presented, minimizing the energy production in the United States of America, not presenting solutions for our border. I will say that he said, if you can't pass comprehensive immigration reform, give me a border resource bill. Mm-hmm. And to me, that left an opening actually to get something done.
And actually, I noticed Republicans didn't really applaud for that. I saw Ted Cruz in the audience. He was shaking his head. That's one thing that maybe they can work on. Is there anything else that you heard in the speech tonight that maybe from a tactical perspective, Republicans should or could work with Biden on?
Well, let's look through some of the things that he talked about. I thought it was a positive moment whenever he talked about, you present your economic plan, I'll present mine, and we'll talk about it. And you saw the speaker behind saying, that's great, that's what I've been asking for. And so I thought that was a positive discussion. Now, I think they'll get into loggerheads very quickly because his economic plan is raising taxes and more regulation, and our idea is let's control spending. So. But it still was good that they had that exchange.
What did you make of your successor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders' speech? The Republican rebuttal didn't mention Donald Trump. She worked for Donald Trump. She's aligned with Donald Trump, but was not part of her speech. What does that say to you about how the party is talking about messaging, embracing the former president?
Well, she started out by saying it's time for a new generation of leaders. And she contrasted her being the youngest governor of Arkansas with President Biden's age and running for re-election, presumably. But I thought she drew contrast there. She told that story about going to Iraq with the president. Didn't mention the name, but, I mean, obviously everyone knows she was the spokesperson for President Trump, and there's a close connection there. But I thought she did a really good job of drawing contrast, which is what is necessary. And secondly, from an Arkansas standpoint, she made a little bit of news because she said she's going to be announcing her education plan tomorrow, which is school choice, parental engagement, and reading and literacy. So that was exciting to hear her talk about some of the goals that she has for the state.
You said you don't think Donald Trump is going to be the nominee for your party, and I'm just wondering, why are you confident in that outcome? What do you see right now that suggests to you he's not on a path to potentially be the nominee again?
Well, clearly, he's still got a strength. He's still got a following that's out there, and so I don't want to overly diminish the chances. But the fact is, he can't win in a November election because you can't draw independents. He's got a small number of the Republican base. So is that going to shrink or expand? And my conversations, both with donors but with grassroots Republicans from Iowa to New Hampshire, is let's look for an alternative that can win. We want to win.
Two random states that you just picked out of the air. Talking to people from Iowa to New Hampshire. But on that point, so if you choose to get in the race, is that going to be one of your arguments that he can't win in November?
Sure, absolutely.
When are you going to decide whether you're going to run?
Stay tuned, but it's probably going to be later this spring. You have a little bit of time to work with. Right now, it's important the message. This is a perfect illustration of it, what President Biden said tonight, what the contrast is with a consistent conservative message, but engaged in problem solving. And that's what I hope that our future candidates will focus on.
Thanks for staying up late with us. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Appreciate it. And coming up, two former lawmakers who just left Congress, a Democrat and a Republican. They're going to react to the president's speech and the tensions in the House chamber tonight. Our special coverage continues right after a quick break.